The Lord be with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you.
Children were brought to Jesus that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples rebuked them, but Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, and do not prevent them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." After he placed his hands on them, he went away. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise the Lord Jesus Christ.
Ulahang weekend kanatong tanan. One significant value that the Lord Jesus has given to the children, as we know this from the huge background of cultures in the writing of the scriptures and in understanding them, is this, that children, I think we already have discussed this many times over, are considered non-entities, or they do not have any value at all. They do not count in a way. But Jesus, praying over them and embracing them, is always a reminder that it is in the childlikeness that whatever is being promised always had to start from, because it starts very early, when things are being taught. And so when Jesus said the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these, is really a very significant starting point. And not only that, because Jesus did not come as already a grown-up. He came into the world like us. He became a little child. That's why we Cebuanos always have that interesting affinity or closeness with our devotion to the Holy Child, to Jesus the Santo Niño. Now, one very significant characteristic of children or little children is the so-called vulnerability. And this is what many people are afraid of, to acknowledge our vulnerability. And part of this lesson into this gospel reading is to really confront our vulnerabilities. I have one very favorite song. It is actually a love song, but it says there in one of the lines, "Only the strong admit their fears." So if we admit our vulnerabilities and our fears, we are the strong ones, because the weak are afraid to accept that they are weak. In other words, what we are trying to live, or what we are trying to practically integrate into our lives, is that very characteristic, because nobody is perfect. Our lives are constantly beset or confronted with so many tests, and it is not a question of not just being strong, but also the ability to accept that somehow or some way there are things that we cannot make. And this is the point where we need God more in our lives, because He is the strong one, He is the strength, He is the firm foundation that actually makes us all practically realize that without Him in our lives, we cannot do anything. And so as we continue this Eucharistic celebration, and since today being Saturday, we always commemorate the Blessed Virgin Mary, she who is the mother of the Lord, who witnessed everything when He was still very small, from an infant to as He was growing up. Let's all bring our petitions and prayers to the Blessed Virgin Mary, our mother, because she is also one of the sources of strength in our faith life, in each other, and as a church. Amen.